When evaluating Marian dogmas, such as the Immaculate Conception, perpetual virginity, divine motherhood, and the Assumption, in terms of biblical evidence and early church support, the Catholic position has significantly more historical and theological backing than the Calvinist rejection of these doctrines. Biblical evidence: divine motherhood, Theotokos, Luke 1:43. Elizabeth calls Mary the mother of my Lord, which supports the early church's recognition of Mary as Theotokos, God-bearer. John 1:14. The Word became flesh through Mary, reinforcing her role in the Incarnation, perpetual virginity. Ezekiel 44:2. Some church fathers saw this passage, "This gate shall remain shut," as typologically referring to Mary's perpetual virginity. Luke 1:34. Mary's response to the angel, "How can this be since I know not a man?" suggests an intent of virginity. John 19:26-27. Jesus entrusting Mary to John rather than to a sibling suggests she had no other children. Immaculate Conception, Luke 1:28. The Greek term kecharitomon, translated as full of grace, suggests a perfect, past completed state of grace. Genesis 3:15. The Proto-Evangelium speaks of enmity between the woman and the serpent, which Catholic theology sees as a foreshadowing of Mary's sinlessness. Assumption, Revelation 12:1. The image of the woman clothed with the Son has been linked to Mary. Psalm 132:8. Arise, O Lord, and go to your resting place, you in the ark of your might, was interpreted by church fathers as a foreshadowing of Mary's Assumption. Early church fathers' support. The early church consistently upheld Marian doctrines, with no serious rejection until the Protestant Reformation. Theotokos, Mother of God. Council of Ephesus 431 AD declared Mary Theotokos against Nestorianism. St. Irenaeus, 2nd century, called Mary the New Eve, affirming her unique role in salvation. Perpetual virginity, St. Athanasius, 4th century, St. Augustine, 4th century, and St. Jerome, 5th century, all defended Mary's perpetual virginity. Immaculate Conception Saint Ephraim the Syrian, 4th century, wrote of Mary as untouched by stain. St. Augustine taught that Mary was preserved from sin. Assumption Saint John Damascene, 8th century, wrote of Mary's bodily assumption into heaven, a belief that was widely accepted in both Eastern and Western Christianity. Calvinist rejection. John Calvin held to Mary's perpetual virginity, but rejected later Marian doctrines. Calvinists reject all Marian dogmas, arguing they lack explicit biblical proof. The Reformers, Luther, Zwingli, and Calvin, initially accepted some Marian beliefs but later abandoned them. Conclusion. From a historical and theological perspective, Catholic Marian dogma has far greater biblical and early church support than Calvinism's rejection of it. The earliest Christians and church fathers consistently upheld Marian doctrines, while Calvinism's stance is a much later theological development.